You were 8 years old, letting yourself into an empty house with a key around your neck, realizing nobody was coming to save you. That latchkey survival instinct made you independent, but it also wired your brain with a defensive pessimism that most people mistake for cynicism. What if I told you that this exact psychological armor is the secret weapon you need to master the psychology of money and finally buy back your freedom? Your childhood was a high-contingency environment where actions had immediate consequences and parents were often absent. You watched divorce rates explode and saw your parents get pink slips after decades of corporate loyalty. This created a mental framework where you learned that the system will betray you and promises are worthless. In the world of money, this makes you naturally skeptical of get-rich-quick schemes, which is your first major advantage in building wealth. Morgan Housel points out that getting rich requires risk and optimism, but staying rich requires a deep respect for the downside. Because you've been economically traumatized by the .com crash and the 2008 crisis, you already possess the discipline and caution needed for survival. Unlike the investment banker Richard Fuscone, who had every advantage but went broke by gambling during a crisis, your defensive pessimism prepares you to stay in the game long enough for the odds to swing in your favor. For Gen X, being visible means being vulnerable, which is why you've always valued privacy over social media likes. Housel argues that wealth is what you don't see, it's the Ferrari you didn't buy. While others spend money to chase admiration, your natural urge to lurk and observe rather than broadcast and participate allows you to build wealth quietly. Like Ronald Read, the janitor who died with $8 million, your ability to live without status symbols is what actually builds a fortune. You grew up doing nuclear fallout drills, learning that total annihilation could happen any random Tuesday. This prepared you for the reality that luck and risk are siblings. Sometimes life just hits differently regardless of your effort. Understanding this prevents you from becoming arrogant during success or being too hard on yourself during failure. Instead of trying to eliminate risk, you build a system like a 3 to 6 month emergency fund that survives it. Because you watched incompetent authority figures make catastrophic decisions during Watergate or the AIDS crisis, you respect actual skill over titles. You don't believe in company loyalty. You believe in being indispensable. This drives the Gen X habit of maintaining multiple income streams. By applying Housel's principle of never interrupting compounding unnecessarily, you can turn that diversified income into a long-term engine that works even when the system fails. The hardest financial skill is getting the goalpost to stop moving. You are the bridge generation, holding the world together for your parents and your kids without asking for credit. This middle child position often makes you feel like you need more to be safe. But as Housel warns, there is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need. Defining your enough is how you stop the cycle of exhaustion. You learn to fix things with your hands because nobody was going to call a technician for you. You can apply that same mechanical intuition to your finances. Successful investing isn't a science, it's a behavior. By treating your portfolio like a machine that requires patience and the right tools, you can master your financial world just like you mastered fixing a fuzzy TV screen. The highest dividend money pays is control over your time. For a generation that's been solving its own problems since age 8, the ability to say, "I don't want to work this weekend," is the ultimate flex. Saving isn't about denying yourself. It's about buying back the independence you've valued since you first let yourself into that empty house in 1978. Bridges don't get parades or recognition. They just do the work. But by combining your Gen X grit with the psychology of money, you can ensure your legacy isn't just getting it done, but getting it won. You win the money game by designing a life that is truly yours, not one that society told you to build. Stop trying to burn the brightest and focus on lasting the longest. Shift your mindset from maximizing returns to maximizing survival. This is the most Gen X thing of all, not needing the credit, not needing the fanfare, just being the one who is still standing when the dust settles. You've spent your life being the forgotten generation that held everything together. It's time to use that independence to build a life that actually feels rich, not just one that looks rich. If you're ready to stop chasing more and start owning your time, hit that subscribe button. We're building wealth with intention, not just information. Comment below, what was your Latchkey lesson that saved your bank account? I'll see you in the next one.